Hey, what is up, guys? Welcome. Going live on a Sunday and a nice day. A little sunny out. Waiting for some people to get in here. James Freeman's in the house. James, it sounds like that situation in New York kind of resolved itself peaceably, I guess. Mrs. North Country in the house, coming out swinging already with a "You're Sexy." It's so hard to see this, guys. I'm underneath the sun so that you can get a good view, but it's hard to read here. B&C Homestead in the house. Buddy Duncan's in here. S. Moore is in here. Debbie Jones in the house. James Freeman says he is sexy. It's the beard. Covers up the ugly. Wizard 378 is in. So guys, we're going to be answering some questions. I know that our live feed got cut off at the public hearing we went to, so we're going to kind of recap what's going on there and then kind of give you guys an update of the events leading up to it and the things that have taken place here in the county level, what's going on. And then I'm going to kind of introduce you guys to PRO. That is the Property Rights Organization. That is the group of neighbors that we have come together and formed a group to have our voices heard. We the people coming together. It's a great thing, right? It's the way it's designed. Pretty cool stuff. So what happened at the meeting? PRO was there. I believe we were just about everyone in the group. There were a few faces of people that I did not know. They could still be part of the group. But essentially, we packed the house. We filled the room up. It was standing room only. Someone said that room holds like 86 people. There were people standing, sitting against the wall. I gave up my chair and I stood up in the back, so I was able to film as well. Very crowded. Many of our members got up, made sure that their voices were heard. Mike Gully, one of our members, you guys can watch that video and go watch the part where Mike reads his speech. Mike dropped liberty and freedom all over the room, and he got an applause. And he got an applause after he was told, or everyone was told, to not applause. But he was reigning too much liberty, guys. You know, people had to give it up, so that was good. Their decision, they wound up kind of passing it through, but they wanted to be able to revisit the residential side of RV regulations on land. So it's going to kick up to the county commissioners. The county commissioners can either adopt it, reject it, or send it back. As I understood what they were saying, this would be the third time they've sort of deliberated on it. So they're trying to fix some stuff. And hopefully it comes back and we're able to go back in and have our voices heard even louder and let them know where our position is. And of course, guys, our position is liberty, property rights, the ability to do what we want on our property. And it comes down to, when you buy land, when you have property, does the government have the right to tell you what to do or regulate on that land within that private property? And the group feels that they don't. The group feels that we were given, we have inalienable rights. We were given those rights. We were given those rights by our Creator, but our forefathers recognized those rights, and those rights shouldn't be taken away from us or governed away from us, which is essentially what has happened. Monica S. dropping that $4.99 super chat with the purple heart. Guys, if you drop a super chat, your comment gets read for sure, so feel free. Let's see what James Freeman has to say, guys. If you don't know who James Freeman is, you can go over and check out his channel. He is an advocate for liberty and just understanding that our personal rights are being taken away from us. James says, problem is the existence of the system where anyone has a say in what other persons can or can't do on their property. Hold on. Not only does the government not have the right, the majority of neighbors don't. So what he's saying is even if the neighbors come together and say, hey, we want the government to be able to tell us what to do on our land, that's negotiating your rights away. So even if 90% of the people said, hey, we want the government to control us, that doesn't negate your rights. That doesn't go away. Dustin M. All right, I gotta quit reading you guys for a second here. Let me get back to this. So guys, this all kind of stemmed from some different violations, things that were taking place on different neighbors' properties. The 120-day notice came to light. We believe that's getting changed. It looks like it's getting changed. It got ripped up and thrown out, so that's cool. But they still need to adopt it and then make it into the new code that 120 days is gone. They did go from 120 days, and then they kind of extended it out to permanent use. And so a lot of the argument in the room was, well, if you can't prove 120 days, how do you prove 100, or how do you prove permanent use anyway? Because the idea is that unless someone's sitting there watching you do it, you're not in violation of anything. So if you can't enforce it, why is it on the books? I think that was kind of the gist of what a lot of people were saying, as well as the Planning and Zoning Board. A few of the members made that point. One of the members continued to drive that home, which was nice. It's nice to see some allies of property rights on those boards. Okay, so Pro came together. We got organized. We had some meetings. We talked to people about issues, and then we said, well, how are we going to bring these issues to light? And then which ones are we going to fight? Which ones do we feel violates our personal rights? And how do we voice that to our governing body here in Bonner County and make them realize that we value our rights more so than the codes that you've come up with? Simple question, difficult answer. Anyway, we're meeting opposition, guys. We're getting some opposition in the community. Pro started out as just a couple of people. To date, I believe we're about 240 members, which is pretty cool. That's only in a couple of weeks' time. So Pro was planning on coming to the meeting. We were planning on coming to planning and zoning. Unfortunately, a county commissioner decided to put out a notice that due to my videos, that they received death threats at the county commission building. They received death threats. And so he has said that due to the dangerousness of the situation, due to the death threats that took place, there was going to be a very high level of police presence at the planning and zoning meeting. So be prepared. I see this as fear-mongering, guys. I believe that this county commissioner put this out there to try and stop people from coming and being heard. As I just explained to you, that didn't work. We packed the house. Let's just take a guess real quick, guys. How many police officers do you think showed up to this? Put in the comments right now. How many cops do you think were in the house there to protect the people from the dangerous death threaters of the world? Flam says 2. Tom says 37. Buddy Duncan says 1. I'm seeing a lot of 1s. 0. 1 overweight, says Paul Smith. I wouldn't say he's overweight. He looked a little bulky. Ooh, all of them. No, all of them did not show up. 1, guys. There was 1 officer in the room to be able to address the threat level that rolled into Bonner County from the, I believe, 5 confirmed death threats that the county commissioners received due to me. It was my fault, apparently. I control the actions of other people. Yeah, heavy officer presence, guys. That's what we were told, and I want to share a couple things with you that I think you guys are going to laugh at, and I hope that people can understand that we're after property rights, and that's it. If you're opposing a group that is fighting for property rights, would that make you pro-property rights, or would that make you a person with a different agenda? Agenda 2030? I don't know. But that was the atmosphere leading up to this meeting, guys. It was an atmosphere of fear being interjected to people in the community to say, oh, we're getting death threats. It's going to be a crazy situation. Well, guys, it went off without a hitch. I will admit that they did slam the gavel and tell people to be quiet, because when everyone clapped for Mike Gully in his speech, we were breaking the decorum. they didn't like the applause, and what he said was powerful, guys, and everyone felt the need to show their appreciation for what he had said. But that was the extent. That was it. That's as bad as it got. Other than that, it went off with a hitch. Everyone was respectable. I, for no second, thought that anything was going to take place at all. I know the people in my group. I knew that nobody was going to freak out and shut the thing down. But apparently, other people were in fear. They feared for the safety of the area, I guess. It got dangerous. One lady was told she was out of line. Yeah, she tried to bring to the board's attention because the board apparently was under the impression or made a comment that, well, we don't go looking for violations. And she spoke up and said, well, yeah, you do. And so they shut her up and they said, you're out of order. So that's what took place, and they do. They get on to the internet. They check out realtor.com and whatnot, and that's how they go and police the. That's how they go and police from their computer to find violations on people's property that they've posted for their for sale ads. Those are dinosaurs. I'm drinking out of my coldest water container, guys, and full disclosure, the coldest water is paying me to stick this in front of the camera. I like it though, keeps my water cold. But I'm getting paid, so buy it, don't buy it, whatever. Link in the description below. All right, so we had some other opposition taking place from the same County Commissioner Dan McDonald. He doesn't like our group. I don't know. He doesn't like our group, guys. I don't know what it's about. We're pro property rights, and he doesn't like us. He's definitely not a fan of Chad, but that's okay. I'm not a fan of his either. So he actually, when we put out our petition, we decided to take a petition with us. It was an informal petition. It was not a, I don't know the word. It was not an official petition. It was a petition that we wanted to create to be able to show the board, hey, we're here and we have the signatures of 100, and I believe it was 196. We had 196 signatures on the petition. Don't quote me, but it's somewhere around there. 186, 196. I forget what the number was, but it was pretty good for having it for about a week. I think about a week is when we had it drafted up, and then we had people signing it. So that was pretty good, right? It's good numbers. 179 people in the house. Maybe y'all signed it. But we took this petition, and when it finally came out, we put it out, and instantly this County Commissioner Dan McDonald, he took to the airwaves. He took to Facebook. He jumped on Facebook and he said, this petition's bullshit. Those are my words, not his. I don't really know what his words were because I don't play on Facebook all day. But he said, oh, this petition is trying to keep the 120 days. So he was unable to read the petition and understand it, but he started speaking out against it. He started telling everyone that we're a bunch of liberals and we're trying to bamboozle the community and we're trying to keep the 120 days that I've so eloquently spoken out about and is raising hell about, right? But somehow that meant that we were trying to keep it. But this was a good lesson for PRO. Because what we failed to do was we failed to make the petition so stupid simple to read that people were able to misunderstand it. So in the future, we will know to make it very, very, very easy to read, simple, so we can't misconstrue facts and then lead a charge against a group of people that are pro-property rights and are fighting for property rights. Because why would you lead a charge against property rights? James Freeman says, have a kindergartner write it. Yeah, I guess, man. You know, we had a couple members drafted up. Both of those members speak English pretty well. I felt they did a good job. I read okay as well. And I read it, but maybe it was a little bit too much. You know, sometimes these things get lost in translation, I guess. But we're going to simplify it for next time. Use crayon next time. Yeah, bright colors might help. But that makes me ask the question, why? Why is there a county commissioner trying to shut down a property rights organization? Why is he speaking out against us? Why is he going out of his way to talk about us all day long, every day on Facebook? It also makes me wonder why not much is getting done, because if you're on Facebook, you're probably not working hard for the people. But why would you go on radio shows and talk bad about a petition that is getting people to fight for property rights? Because what are we giving up here, guys? The government either has control of our property or we have control of our property. We're speaking out for us to have control of the property. So if he's fighting us, does that mean he's in favor of the government keeping control on our property, or assuming they have control of our property? Is that an ally of the group? I don't know. Do you guys think that's an ally of the group? If someone speaks out against your group, tries to take you down, tries to get your petitions removed, is that an ally or is that a foe? I don't know. You should sue for slander. Oh, good Lord. There's been so many things said that are not provable. I would love to see them defended with proof. That would be cool. For speaking out against them, for not wanting the 120 days, for raising hell and starting a group. I am apparently a liberal. I am working with the liberals in town, fighting for property rights. So we were accused of that. We were accused of working with the liberals in town to, I don't even know. It makes no sense to me. I don't really get it. I don't get how we can fight for property rights while actively trying to keep government in control of the property rights. You guys know me. You know how liberal I am, so I guess we're liberal out here. I don't know. Apparently you can just say shit and then, you know, no facts needed. I said it, so that makes it a fact, I guess. I don't know. Right-wingers have become too quiet. Yeah, a lot of that, a lot of infighting, a lot of ego. You know, some people get pissed off that something's not their idea, so they try to destroy it. Some people get opposition, so they just try to tear you down or take you apart, which is ridiculous. I mean, if we're for rights, we're for rights, right? If we're for government control, then you're for government control. North Idaho Exposed in the house. You guys go check out North Idaho Exposed channel. He's got the little red Idaho that just scrolled by. Check him out. That guy does a lot to expose a lot of the Agenda 2030 stuff going on. You're going to see a lot of development stuff that's taking place, a lot of cultural pressure. Yeah, I don't know. Check it out. Go check him out, guys. The guy does a lot of hard work, and he does it for free, too. They shut down his YouTube channel right after he started. So he makes no money, you guys. Send him $1 or $2. Speaking of $1 or $2, coldest water. Go get one. Or don't. I don't care. Let's see. What else do we got? I did a few talking points, but I kind of just rambled all through them. Okay, so the other issue, yeah, the coldest. The other issue that we're seeing is my alleged violation here, guys. My alleged violation for not pulling a permit for a building that I allegedly have on this property, unconfirmed, right? These guys saw it in a video from years ago. They're assuming it's still here. So they're coming after me, and I've been under investigation now for 8 months. Under investigation for 8 months. I guess I'm still under investigation. I don't know. I don't know what's up with the investigation. I'm still being investigated after 8 months. It's still an alleged violation. I don't know. But here's the difference of the permits, guys. So when you build a structure in the state of Idaho, you have to pull a building permit in some counties. Sorry, not the state of Idaho, but in some counties in the state of Idaho, you have to pull a building permit for some structures that are under, I believe, 1,000 square feet. Don't quote me. somewhere it's like 1,900 square feet, but any structure 900 or 1,000 square feet that is a non-permanent structure, not attached to the ground, requires a location permit that is free. It's a free permit. It costs nothing. They get nothing. You lose nothing. No, you lose a little. And my alleged issue with my alleged violation is that what they are wanting you to give up is access. And now we've been criticized that the access, I'll read it to you guys. You tell me if you would sign this, okay? Here's Bonner County's whatever. This is for it's the declaration of exempt structure. You lose a lot. Yeah, Jim's listening to this, my friend. All right, here we go. Guys, this is a little long. This is where you have to sign. It says, I/we certify that I/we have read and examined this declaration and know the statements and depictions to be true and correct. I/we certify that the proposed construction will conform to the dimensions and uses shown above and that no changes will be made without obtaining approval from Bonner County Planning Department. I/we understand that additional information may be necessary for a complete review of the declaration by the Planning Department. Here's the issue. I/we further grant permission to Bonner County employees or officials to enter upon the subject land to make the examination or review the premises relative to the application. That's it. It's all in that box right there. Okay? My issue with the way this reads, guys, and this is a contract, okay? Understand that this is a contract. So if it's not on the contract, you would never assume that it's in place. Would you guys assume that it's in place if it's not on a contract? Do not sign, says Kathy. Guys, the way contracts work is if you put it on the contract, that's what everyone adheres to. That's what both parties adhere to. So my issue was this. There is no timeline. There's no timeline on this thing that says when they would come. It doesn't say how many times they would come. This permit is good for a year's duration. So essentially they could come for a year. Essentially they could come every day. Essentially anyone could come. Anyone could come. Anyone who is employed by Bonner County or an official could come. Now, I've gotten scrutiny that, well, that's ridiculous. Why would they come out? That is ridiculous. Why would they come out? And if you feel comfortable signing that because you trust that they're going to do what they told you they would or wouldn't do, then sign away, guys. Check that box and go on with your life. But if you value your privacy and you choose to not relinquish all of that control to Bonner County, why would you sign that? So you guys saw the video where I went in there to talk to them about it. I told them I don't agree with this. I told them if we could make some changes, perhaps we could get something done. They told me they can't make any changes to it. They told me that, and keep in mind, guys, this is just free for some information. They want information on anything that you build. They want to know that it's in a location that you said it's in so that it does not sit over the setbacks, okay? But they don't come out and check, and they don't inspect. A lot of people misconstrue this, and they're like, oh, it's for health and safety. Guys, if they don't come out and look at it, it's not about safety, and it's sure as shit not about health because they don't come out to check to see if it's healthy or safety, right? Because they can't see that. That's why but we want access. That seems silly to me. So anyway, there's kind of a bright side to this, guys. Well, sort of. Milton, the director of planning and zoning, told me I'm happy to change the language. And I told him, change away. That is fantastic. But I don't want language changed for just me. I don't want language changed for just my situation, allegedly. I want it changed for my neighbors. I want it changed for my community. I want this to apply to everyone equally, when I say that property rights matter and I'm not going to give you access to my land, wide open access. I want that to apply to everyone. I don't want just a little special, hey Chad, we're going to cut you a deal. We're going to cut you a deal. Guys, I could have signed this thing and then dealt with all of my issues and have been done with it by now. But this is bigger than me. This is bigger than the community that's currently here. This is about the preservation of Idaho. This is about the preservation of rights. These rights are being stripped from us little at a time. And by signing shit like this, where you allow someone to tell you what to do with your property, and you allow someone to try and control the access to your property. Guys, we have laws in place that strictly stop people from accessing your property. Now, just because it's in a code doesn't mean that they can do it. If you're driving in Bonner County, do you give up your Fourth Amendment right to search and seizure if you're pulled over by an officer? If it's code, I mean, if it's code, they can take your Fourth Amendment right from you. Hold on, super chat. Let's see here. Trucker, Beatty, Bailey, and I don't know, man, it's cut off there. Shasta? I don't know. $9.99 super chat says, if they find more than just looking at buildings, who knows? They might want to see what you grow. Well, you know, and I don't know if they're out here looking for, there's when they come out, there's violations that are their violation jurisdiction, and then there's the violation jurisdictions of state as well. I don't know if they then will call the state and said, hey, we saw these infractions, go check it out. I'm sure if they came on to look for a building and they found 5 or 6 more buildings, they're definitely going to hit you on that. As far as, I mean, if you're doing something illegal on your property, yeah, it seems like a good reason to keep them out too, which begs the question, do you have the right to do something illegal on your property? I don't know. It seems like registration, registration of buildings, registration of what you're doing. And obviously, if you're building stuff on your property, they're going to do their best to let the tax assessors know, so the tax assessor can hit you with taxes so that you can be taxed out of your land in the future, because taxes go up, they don't go down. Babe, I got 20% battery. Help me out. Help me out. Save me. Save me, Shelbs. It's too cold out here. The phone can't take it. Statue. Let's see here. Ralph Riley says statute codes and acts are not corporate rules, or are not law. Sorry, corporate rules. Hard to see here, guys. Like, I'm looking right in the sun.